and it's never releasing.
Hey, greetings. Welcome back to the Soul Citizens. I am GriffinGamingRPG. Today is Sunday, February 22nd, and we are back for the second half of our show. We are joined today by two of our newest members of the Soul team. We have both joining us today, Bado Calrissian. Bado, how are you?
I'm great, sir.
Good. And Monarkie is here. Also, how are you, my friend?
I am doing fantastic.
Good. They have made it through the first half of the show, so they've gone through their initiations. Now they get to do their very first show of us talking about a topic. And we're also joined by Fastcart FC, my co-producer. How are you, buddy?
I'm doing well, thank you. They're still rookies, though. They're still rookies.
They're still rookies?
Through the whole show yet.
Yeah, they're not all the way through. Not yet, right? They got to make it to the end.
Oh, wait, so we got more hazing to go through?
Yeah, a little bit more, just a little bit more to go through. This is the easy part, actually. This is just nice and candid. So today we're going to be talking about this topic of profit, prestige, and protection. We kind of talked a little bit about this in the first half of our show that we did on This Week in Star Citizen or Star Citizen This Week. Where we talked about industrial gameplay, but we're going to talk about it beyond just industrial gameplay during this segment. So as always, chat, we appreciate you guys being here with us. And if you have any thoughts that you want to share, make sure you drop it in the chat because we will be reading what you all have to say. I want to give out, Fastcart just did it. I was going to say, we want to give a shout out to Citizen Her, another content creator. Another content creator in the Star Citizen communities. Always good to see you. Hope you are doing well. Hope you're doing really, really well. And thank you for being with us tonight, Citizen Her. We appreciate you. So, gentlemen, let's go ahead and jump into this topic because this is kind of it took me a little bit to kind of figure out how I wanted to do this one. We're going to be kind of covering a lot of different things here. One of the first things I want to kind of do is kind of lay the groundwork of what it is we're going to be talking about today. In Star Citizen, a transport carrier is a specialized ship designed for moving large quantities of cargo, vehicles, or passengers, goods across the galaxy, serving as the backbone of interstellar trade and logistics. They range from massive dedicated freight haulers like the C-2 to versatile ships that can carry ground vehicles and specialized missions. Bado, Fastcart, Monarkie, before I go any further, if I were to say what type of gameplay would you lean yourself more into outside of FPS stuff? If it's something that's listed here, that's fine. But if not, I'm just kind of curious. I'll know where your head is when you answer some of the questions later. Bado, which way do you kind of lean toward with your gameplay in Star Citizen?
Flying anything large. So if it's a transport carrier, yeah, I'd fly that. Anything that's really a large ship is kind of my thing. Okay.
Does that include when you say a large ship? Yeah.
Caveat.
Okay.
No holds. No holdies. No holdies. None of those.
Really? Okay. All right. We'll talk about those later because I'm curious as to why your response is that. Okay. So when you say large ship, are we talking Perseus and up, Polaris and up? Are we talking Reclaimer? What are you considering like large?
Me a large multi-craft vehicle. Idris, Perseus, Polaris, anything large. Hercules. I just love flying these large ships.
Okay, the large ships. Okay, cool. FC, what about you?
Profit, money. Give me that paper. So yeah.
Anything to make money, you're saying?
Yeah, for me, yeah. Most of them protected. Maybe prestige. I want to do some high class stuff, maybe some middle class stuff. None of the lower class stuff, if possible. But yeah,
you don't want to haul scrap. You don't want to haul scrap.
No scrap for me, thank you. That's the premium product, the primo product.
Oh boy. Okay, you don't want to be Fred Sanford. Okay, I got you. No junk man.
Right. I want the music, but not the product.
Okay. Monarkie, how about you?
Outside of playing the Sanford and Son theme in the Shiv, I probably will lean in a couple different ways because I tend to go in cycles with where I land.
Okay.
Sometimes I want to go in to do a little bit of hauling and then that means I get to fly my raft all over the place, which is my favorite ship.
Okay.
But then when I look at kind of like the expansive stuff and things that's not quite there yet, I want to be able to do, as we talked about in the break, like I want to be able to do some weapon crafting and stuff like that. Like I'd rather be, a weapons merchant to support the people who want to fight rather than be in the fight.
Gotcha. That's fair. That's fair.
Then I think the other side of that is when you look at the prestige, like I want to be able to do some of that kind of luxury ship exploration. Like I want to be able to take my 400i out and just, be comfortable. You know what I mean? And just go places, check things out. And then whatever that exploration gameplay seems to be, it allows me to kind of go out in the thing that, I enjoy. It's just kind of flying that ship out there, checking out new places. Like I said earlier, giving me an opportunity to walk around in some of the new places, see what they have to offer, what kind of Easter eggs they've thrown in, and like all that kind of stuff. So to me, I kind of feel like I'm going to have like a varied gameplay. I'm probably going to go a couple of months of this and then shift, and then a couple of months of something new. Yeah.
And change up again. Okay. That's fair. That fast cart, don't you answer this. This is for the two young whippersnappers on the panel. Who wrote the lead song to Sanford and Son? Who wrote the theme?
Oh, okay. I do know that answer.
Oh,
I believe that's
come on.
Quincy Jones.
Yes, there we go. See there? Say that again. Quincy Jones. There you go.
That's Quincy Jones. Yeah, no, that's music is my first love. So I have way more music knowledge than I probably should.
There we go. Quincy Jones. All right. Let's look at cargo capacity and specialization. These are the type of ships such as the Caterpillar or the Hull series that are built with extensive cargo grids and often equipped with tractor beams for efficient loading and unloading. Monarkie, I'm going to come to you first. When it comes to this type of stuff and these missions that we've been doing recently, everything from the race for Stanton to the one we're doing right now, I've kind of been involved with this whole cargo hauling capacity thing. You mentioned the raft in particular, which, as you know, got a rework, got improved, some cooler things, and it became a ship that nobody thought about. Well, let me just not say that. People who weren't into the cargo ships that much didn't really think about it, and then all of a sudden it became like the hot thing on the list. What are your feelings about this type of stuff? For money making, for money making in particular, though.
For money making, I kind of like where they shifted, where there was a little bit more variation in the jobs you could take. There was a lot more jobs you could take, and the pay for those jobs increased. So to me, that was a net positive. The raft rework aside, which to me was a huge win. I like having that kind of variety and knowing that I don't have to do 45 runs to make a decent amount of money. A lot of times I want to play the game, like I said, go explore, do other things. And then I'll just be like, oh, you know what? I'm getting low on cash. Let me go to work for a little bit. And then I'll hop in, I'll go do my runs. Like I have a Vulture, I'll go out and do salvage, I'll go do hauling, and then I make a decent chunk of change to fund whatever it is I'm interested in doing next, and I do that. So I like what they've done because they don't require you to just spend 12 hours in game hauling stuff around to make it worth your time. I like the changes that they made. So I'm feeling pretty optimistic about it. It's fun enough, and glitches aside, because we know, we're not going to be able to avoid that as things are changing. So that never really was much of an issue for me. It was more about the big picture. Does it look like it's going to be fun? Does it look like it'll be lucrative enough so that you want to do it, but you don't have to spend all of your time in game doing it? So to me, I'm very happy with where it is. And I'm sure if they're going to make some new changes, it'll be fine. But I like the direction that it's going in right now.
Okay. FC, how about you? Cargo for profit.
Oh yeah. I mean, I don't mind it. I haven't been doing it much in the game recently, but one of the first things that I did when I started the game was look at Great Headed Gamers had video series called how much would fit in specific ships. Like he had the whole series specifically. So yeah, that's how I got my start in my Star Citizen interest. Um, it's kind of diverted from cargo into manufacturing along the way, but yes, I'm still interested. I'll be happy to especially haul my own cargo if needed. But if I can find someone else to do it for a good price, I'll do that too.
So let me ask you guys a question. Bando, I'm gonna come to you because of something you said earlier about how do we make hauling fun, and you raised some really good points because you were talking about people wanting games. I think it was you or Monarkie. We talk about wanting it to be simulation, wanting it to be real. But I always struggle with this thing when people say, oh, we want Star Citizen to be realistic. and my feeling is that I think people think they want it to be realistic because I think that space, and I said this a couple times before, space is not exciting unless you're into space. And what I mean by that is I'm saying, if you go into the solar system and start looking at the planets and the moons, they're pretty, but there's nothing there. There's nothing there. And if you're into astronomy, you'll find fascination and wonder, and you'll love it. You'll eat it up, right? But most people are going to go into the universe and say, there's nothing out here but dirt and dust, and that's it. Okay. So how do we make something like cargo transportation fun? Because I'm going to be honest with you. When I was hauling those 500 boxes last week, it wasn't fun. It was rewarding and it was gratifying in the end, but it was not fun. I'm trying to figure out how do we make moving 32 SCU boxes fun, other than when I knock somebody down with one when I throw it across by accident, right? what? Because people said that in the live stream
Accident
with SCL. And they said, you need to make industrial missions fun. I'm like, well, there's not. And again, in real life, there's nothing fun about moving freight cars. There's nothing fun about, moving semis, but there is gratification. So, what do you think would be that balance? And I know that fun can maybe introduce a career to some people that maybe under any other circumstance wouldn't participate. So I can understand that, right? How do you lure people into trying something different that maybe they thought was boring? I'm curious as to what those things would be. And I don't know. I'm just kind of curious. What do you guys think would, I'm going to go to Bando because he was kind of mentioning that earlier. And I understand what he said about it.
So
is it the rewards? Is it the rewards that make it fun, or is it the process? Because I don't see anything in that. Listen, buddy, I was in that, in the Hermes with the tractor beam in the back. I spun that sucker around 256 times loading boxes. Ain't fun.
No.
You know what I'm saying? It's not fun.
I haven't found a component of it that's fun for me just yet.
Okay.
I mean, I'm a group guy, so doing it as a group is more fun to me than taking that raft and just going and filling it up by yourself and then going off. But as a group, it's whole
fun.
Lot more tolerable. It's whole much more fun.
Agree.
And that we get to split the rewards equally, or just everybody gets rewarded the same.
Yep.
That's nice. That's made it better for me.
Yes.
But also me and Kat always have this discussion when we're being longshoremen in space. It's the year 20 whatever. This should be automated. There should be robots.
Well, okay, but and I agree. But my argument against that, and I'm gonna be the devil's advocate on these points, right? Because I'm challenging you to hear your thoughts.
Yeah.
If that was the case, we wouldn't be in space doing what we're doing. We'd be talking to our computers and using drones, and we'd be sitting in our apartment doing all the work, right? But if you're going to make it a game, there has to be interaction, right? There has to be interaction. That's the thing. Yeah. Like, I would love for my origin ships to all be glass panels, you know what I mean? And I just get in the ship and say, Orison. And we just fly. But eventually I would get bored. Right? It'd be a cool factor, but I get bored. So that's what I'm saying. What's that balance? I agree with you. 900 years from now, even though we do have an automated system in the game, like when I sell stuff, it tells you it's auto loading and you got to wait 10 minutes for that. That's cool, right? is there a better way? I don't know. From a game standpoint, is there a better way? Because from a futurist standpoint, you're absolutely right. 900 years from now, there's going to be a much more efficient way to move boxes around, right? I just don't know what it is, you know. And
I don't know what it is either.
Yeah.
Because for me, it's got to be a multi crew play, because the boredom that I get from moving and hauling boxes 250 times.
Yeah. I agree.
Me nuts. So
I agree.
I think that for me, that is what would make it a lot better. And if you had maybe where you had to squad up with 10 or 12 people, that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
But just solo,
it took me to load a C2 by myself, and this was using nothing but the freaking Atlas. It took me about 30 minutes loading four SCU boxes, right? So you can imagine how many of them I had to do, right? Because that's 4 stacked, and then 3 lanes in the front, then 4 stacked and 4 lanes in the front, then about another 15, whatever, coming this way, right? But if I had another person helping me, I guarantee you I would have went from 35 minutes to about 20, maybe 15 minutes. And if I had 4 people, I would have been about 7 minutes and been done. So to your point, that efficiency factor could make it fun. Not to mention when those 4 people are in there and we are knocking each other down with a box, it does become a fun event versus when I'm just in that Atlas by myself. Yeah. We're going to say Monarchy.
Yeah, I'm going to say that too.
It's the shenanigans that happen when you got 4 people in there slinging boxes is usually what makes it fun. But I think to that point, none of that's inherently fun on its own when you're moving dozens and dozens of boxes.
Yeah. But
I think even if we want the realism, like in order for this to be a game, something has to be gamified. Like it's not a game if you're making everything realistic. And I agree. People say they want realism, but they don't. They don't want it to the extent they think they do. And I think what we can do, and I'm interested in seeing what CIG comes up with long term. But what I think would help is making some of these tedious parts optional, because some people use that as their kind of meditation time. They're going to move boxes, they're going to meditate for 30 minutes, and they're going to feel good when they get done. Right. But if I don't want to do that, give me a checkbox to just say, you know what, load me up. And don't make it 25 minutes. Like, load me up. And I come back, even 2-3 minutes later, I'm ready.
Oh, come on, Monarchy. Come on. That's too short. That's too short.
I'm just saying you're going to have to gamify it for some people where like they don't want to wait 20 minutes.
But
around the station, buying waters and Doritos. They're going to want to get in their ship and go.
You can have your 2 minutes if you pay them $100K.
Okay, right. You know what it is?
You pay for it.
If I'm being paid $500, I'll pay the $100K to load it up.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
It's gonna be like that.
No, but I'm saying, right.
I get what you're saying.
About that. No, but nobody's gonna take that mission if they getting paid 125 and they gotta pay 100 to load up. Come on, nobody's gonna
No. I agree with you about the time thing, and I think I agree with fastcart too. If you want to expedite, just like exactly no. I know you're not. I'm just saying, but just like how we expedite getting our ships back, if you want to expedite, you know what I mean. You want to go from 3rd class to 1st class. You got to put a couple more things in the box, and there will be people who will be willing to pay the extra price. Like Paradise, he don't want to touch nothing. That brother will pay whatever it costs. He don't want to lift one box. I do like the fact that the auto loading is in there. We just don't have it to the point where, like you said, Monarchy, that it's in the game like right now. And to be honest with you, it took when I set, this is the C2. Remember I said it was a C2. It had 600 and something SCU of boxes in it. I think the timer was 12 minutes. And when I left from the console at the admin and walked down to the ship, I still had 9 minutes to go. So I did end up doing some stuff, but I agree with you. Could I have paid an extra, whatever, right? 10,000, because I think I made like $250,000. You know what I mean? If they say pay us 20,000 and we'll, instead of it being 10 minutes, it'll be 5 minutes. I agree. I would love to have a feature like that in for people who want to do that, right? Who want to pay that extra dough.
And they already got the mechanic in for speeding up ship delivery. So it's essentially the same mechanic.
Yep, exactly.
Side note, to go map, I would absolutely DoorDash chicken whams. The thing that I would like to see on the back end is maybe vary up the payment. So The thing that'll give people more incentive is say, okay, if you got one stop, you get this. You got two stops, you get this. The amount changes, or maybe you get crafting materials, or maybe you do an incredibly dangerous run. You get blueprints on top of your payment. So it gives people incentive to take different kinds of hauling missions, and that way, when they're not just looking at, all right, am I going to get 200K out of this one? Right. Because that will get boring over time, no matter how much money you actually want to have. Right. So the incentives change as the danger changes, and you're jumping between systems, and you're going, you know what I'm saying? So it gives you all of these different things where you've got so many options to choose how you want to play the game. Because if you're doing a hella dangerous mission and you just want to get loaded up real quick and get to flying, you still got to worry about all the things that come with flying with all that cargo. So you know, whether you loaded it up yourself or not, you've got all these variations. So I think long term, the more variations they can add to the gameplay, where your rewards change, the circumstances change, then I think it'll be more interesting for people to kind of decide how they want to do it, as opposed to just getting in and doing hauling. Yeah. Okay.
FC, did I hit you on profit already? I did, right?
No,
okay.
But they already stole my answer, so I don't have much to add. Okay. They're more eloquent than I was too, so I don't have anything to add to it. But yeah.
Okay. Cool. All right. Let's talk about vehicle transport protection. Some, like the Anvil Liberator, are specifically designed to carry multiple ships, ground vehicles, acting as mobile bases for operations. This one is a tough one because, you know, the Liberator is a ship that I know I was hoping we were going to see when we came into Pyro. I was hoping it was going to be the transport vehicle for planes and vehicles, but we didn't get it yet. And then, of course, the C2, the M2, the A2, they've been around for a while. People have been using those to transport vehicles. You know, some people actually have put ships inside of the Hercules Starlifter class of ships. My question to you guys here for protection, how often have you had scenarios where, or have you even had any scenarios where you literally had to bring in some people to escort you in some form, you know, because you were moving your ships or, you know, moving cargo or moving people? Have you ever done that level of gameplay yet? I know they've talked about it and people say, oh, bring escorts with you. Have you guys been in any scenarios where you've done that, or have you been pretty much been able to just go out there solo and just kind of get away with it? FC, I'll start with you on this one.
The safe stanchion event with the I know what I wanted to say. People, a lot of people, you mentioned the 4SU boxes. A lot of people have PTSD from messing with those from the safe stanchion event. So if they could make a variety of boxes, or just not make it just the 4SU box. Sometimes, you know, make it 16 or whatever. I think that'll help too. But mostly, getting other people to help you would make it more fun. But back to there, yes, again, the Safe Stanton event. Yes, a couple of times. Especially with Soak Stations, we had people on Overwatch looking out for us when we were loading the C2s and stuff like that. So that helped. Because I was trying to help someone else, Sinful Strife or Sinset, and trying to help her with the event, and she got stream sniped because we didn't have anyone escorting us. So yeah, that helps a lot, and I'm going to probably employ some help myself when it comes to my enlistment and stuff like that.
Okay. Monarkie, how about you? Have you ever had any scenarios within, you know, had escorts, you brought some people in to help you get somewhere, or just pretty much been soloing it?
I don't think in an active sense. I think maybe I've been in with a group and we've decided to kind of keep an eye out while we're out, but not because we needed to like call people in. I'm more of a kind of solo guy. Back when before the mining change, I was a guy that would log in, fly out to the middle of the asteroid belt in the middle of nowhere and just mine for quant by myself. But because you're out in the middle of the asteroid belt and you calculating where you stop within the belt, it's needle in the haystack out there. Like, for somebody to find you out there is an insane level of math that I don't think anybody was able, you know what I mean? So I spend a lot of time out there solo. I think there's value in that, but I think there also I think that value will show up when the player economy is a little more mature, in that you got people who are actually there for that purpose. Because not everybody, you know, a lot of us have orgs, and we can be comfortable in the fact that, hey, in most instances, we got a few people on with us already, so we're already doing stuff as a group. But I think it's gonna be a real game changer for people who may not have, you know, 200, 500,000 people org where they can always count on somebody being there, where there are people that are just in the game that you can hire. You know what I mean? So I think there's value there. I don't do it a lot myself. I'm more of a solo player. And you know, I put on my job resume, you know, I can work solo or in a team. But at the end of the day, I want to see people have the ability to book help when they want it. I just don't think we're at that spot now.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of it now is just the security is crazy. You know what I mean? Like the stuff's all over. So at the end of the day, I see value in it. And I'm looking forward to seeing where that is when people can go in and there's a whole economy around it.
Okay. Bando?
I think the last time we did that, I think it was Upspec, who had his whole C, and that was maybe last year or the year before. I can't remember. But we all flew in, gave him, I think he was going to Stanton, just around Stanton, and he had a full load. So, you know, we protected him on that, but it hasn't been much. There's been a couple escort missions for like a Polaris or, but nothing of that type.
Really?
That's it. Yeah. It's come far and few in between.
Yeah, I agree with you. When I was doing some hull C runs, a few people joined me on those and came along, escorted me, ops chief, and somebody else was with me. And really, they were more reconnaissance than anything. You know, my setup is that they basically jump ahead of me, make sure that if I'm coming to a station, there's nobody hanging out there, you know, and I can get the hull C in without a problem. And then when the hull C started bugging out, that just kind of killed that, right? Usually when I'm hauling at that level, I'm looking for some type of escort, you know. I hate to say it, but even at a C2 level, I probably should have a full one. I should probably have an escort, right? Or at least somebody else on the ship with me. I hate flying the C2 by myself. You know, I really do. And usually when I get above 200 SCU, 300 SCU of something, I prefer to have somebody either with me on the ship for sure, or at least somebody escorting me. But, you know, it's a risk factor thing, right? And it depends on where you're going. You know, obviously, you hear people are camping out at certain positions and stuff. Like at one point, I know people were hanging out at the Knicks gate that left out of Stanton, and there was some problems over there at one point. Pyro, though, on the other hand, going through the Pyro gate was quiet most of the time when I was going through there. So it just kind of depends on where you are, I guess. But I really haven't had to worry about that too much. I do think about it, though. When I was hauling at CTU, I'm at C2, because of where I had to haul to, which was one of those black market, you know, what do they call them? Not black market. What's the console where you can sell stuff? No questions asked consoles, right? Where those are at, there's usually nobody at those places now.
Like the outposts and stuff, you mean?
Not the outposts. They're on certain stations. I won't say which ones.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Okay, yeah.
But if you go to those, they're Lagrange points. You know what I mean? And usually you're pretty safe going there. Way better than if you go down to the junkyard and stuff, right? There's a real. I don't trust going down there that much. But anyway, my point is that protection is, and I think you just said it, Bando, and Monarkie did too. We haven't gotten completely there where that level is there. You can still run into some bad stuff happening to you, but I'm looking forward to the point where it will step up to that point, right? And fastcart, you said it earlier, the law system also isn't locked down well enough either. So people who are on the hauling side kind of feel like they're on the low end of the stick because there's no repercussion for people who do it on the other side, you know. But we'll see how they finish fleshing that out. But I'm looking forward to them fleshing out that gameplay as well. Let's talk about this one real quick. Role in gameplay. Transport carriers are central to cargo hauling profession and non-combat roles involving transports of goods for profit. This is another area that there's a lot of things that they have in the Star Citizen universe that give us the idea of where they want to go, but they don't work. For example, when you go to the administrative areas or you go to the different hauling areas on Microtech. You got these offices and things like that, places where we're supposed to be able to check in and take missions or drop off orders. And then, of course, there's the what's the place called where the ticker tape goes by? The what's the place called?
Oh, I know what you're talking about. I can't think of the name.
TDD?
Yeah.
The TDD, right? The TDD, where we would hopefully start seeing live commodity prices and things like that flowing through the game. There's a lot of areas there that we want to be able to see become active that will help people who are into this idea of doing transport in some form. Even when you go to the spaceports, right? There are areas up there with flight information, things like that. If you want to start moving NPCs around, that information, we want to see those areas in the game start to go live in some form. So I want to move to this aspect because I think one of you alluded to this idea of being able to move passengers around. Specialized ships such as the Starliner cater to passenger transport, a unique regulated career path involving different classes of service. A separate branch of transportation focuses on moving personnel rather than goods. Ships like the Starliner are designed for civilian passenger transport, offering different comfort classes such as coach, business, first class, and luxury. Bado, Monarkie, I know fastcart knows this, but did you guys know this? That technically, if you want to fly a Genesis Starliner in the game, in the design document, you actually have to get licensed to do that. Did you guys know that?
Oh, I didn't know that.
I did not know that. No.
Yes. You are supposed to be licensed in order to do the large personnel transport. Now, if you're running your own little luxury business, that's fine. You know what I mean? But if you're going to be doing the NPC, literally delivering people back and forth, there's actually a process. I don't know if I can get that link right now. I should have pulled it. But that's the level that they want players to go to, that they actually have to get certified and licensed with the UEE in order to do that type of mission work. Do you guys think that's overkill? That's where the question I want to present to you. Is that too much? Or do you think people should just be able to go out there and just pull up to the airport and load up some NPCs and go?
I would say it would depend heavily on the amount of in-game time you have to spend to get certified. Like, it can't be like real.
You want
life
1,000 hours, like 1,000 hours,
right? You know what I mean? Like, it can't be
1,000 hours of flight time.
I can't. I don't want to have to take time off from my job to get certified. Like, I want to be able to get in and like play. Like, I feel like, if you were in for like a play session or two and you had to go through a series of challenges to get to there. Mm-hmm. I think that's okay, but like I don't think people should have to take like a week, 2 weeks to get through this if they want to do this kind of gameplay, because essentially it's a non-combat role, and you literally have to have no training to go out and get a military grade spaceship and go fly around and attack people. So what do you mean? I gotta go through the fire to be a bus driver? Like, what do you mean? Like, so I don't think it needs to be prohibitive. I think it needs to be in there maybe, but it needs to be fun, gamified, and I like it. I like the fact that there's this little extra layer to it, and I think for me as a player, I don't know how the other players, because I know there are a lot more players that enjoy the kind of PvP aspects, but for somebody who wants to do a little bit of role play in whatever they do. I love a non-combat role. I love something that allows me to kind of sink myself into the game, get lost in it, and just kind of do what I'm doing. To me, that's the fun part.
Yeah.
Real quick,
go ahead, fastcart.
Yeah.
I say real quick, Monarkie, you got to pick one: a job in game or a job in real life. You can't have both. Pick one.
Yeah. The prisoner said something. Go ahead, Mark. You gonna say?
I'm already cooked in real life. I've been underemployed for 2 years, so I guess that question answers itself.
You'll be fine then.
Yeah,
you'll be fine.
Yeah. The prisoner said something too, which is very true. We do have that already. To your point, Monarkie, in combat missions, they're mercenary missions. You have to do that permit mission, that certification mission first, right? And to your point, I think even the certification missions we do right now, that's just like that's just to get you into the. A taste of doing it. And then after that, you start to get missions. But I think that for missions like this with transport, I agree with you. It needs to be enough that you feel like you earned something, right? But not so much that it feels like I had to put in 1,000 hours before I could fly one person around on the thing, right? So I would rather that it would be, Like you said, it should just be a little period of time that feels like maybe the first time you go out, it's just familiarity of being able to fly. Second time you fly, you got to go from this, maybe the longer your distances, you get more certified. They can also track that in the game, that you first maybe have to start out with like a what's that thing called, the E1, right? It has to be something like an E1 or a Phoenix that only holds like 4 to 6 people, and that's it. That's a sports coupe. I don't know if that would be considered, but I don't know if that's a transport. Maybe it is. I don't know. I don't know if it's a trend. No, well, I'm not talking about the luxury thing. I'm talking about being certified to carry passengers per se. And that's why I'm saying I'm starting with a ship like the E1. And then after that, you move up to whatever the next grade is. And then, because it's like class A, class B, class C. You know what I mean? That there's a progression, because somebody said that in the chat. And that's where I was trying to go, that there should be a progression factor too. You shouldn't just be able to jump into a Genesis Starliner that holds, 80 people and you're just certified to fly. I would love to see a progression level. I know some people wouldn't want that because they're like, I got my Starliner, I want to be able to fly it the first day. I would want more of a progression thing, but that's just me.
I get it. But I also look at the current gameplay, and I'm thinking you don't want to get certified to fly a Starliner, but you were able to go out and purchase an F8. What do you mean? Like,
well, but the F8,
what realistic universe were you able?
But the F8 is you by yourself. If you put me in a passenger ship, you're putting me responsible of other people. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
I'm saying I get it. Why would you be able to get military grade hardware for nothing?
Listen,
then you have to get certified to this.
I'm just telling you, I want some form of progression so that I'm not bored after day 2. That's all I'm saying. And it needs to be balanced, right? It shouldn't, to your point, it shouldn't be where it's a chore. It should be like every time I do one, I'm elevating up to that next. I mean, we have reputation now, right? With just doing missions, mercenary missions. And I agree with you 100%. The military thing, you can forget about that because we love our guns and we know our guns from the crib. So we don't need no certification for that. But for flying a ship, I mean, and I'm only putting it in the context of transportation of other people, because what they said about transportation is that you would be graded also with your delivery and how you treat those people too. Right. So if those are all factors that make my reputation as a transport pilot better, to me, that's a cool thing. But that's just me, as far as a progression.
So did that blend real passengers plus NPCs, or was you being graded on delivering?
It's both.
NPC passengers?
It was supposed to be both. It was supposed to be both.
Because I think long term it's going to really add to the immersion and kind of the social aspect. Because if you get a big group of people, they're going to want to take a Starliner, across the system to go do stuff, because they could just be on the boat partying, basically. So I think it adds long term to a lot of the social elements that we already know that we're looking forward to and the things that we're expecting. So I think all the way around, it's a net positive. Having to be qualified to fly the ship, being able to take people around and enhance their group events. Like I think it's all a net positive.
Yeah. You just touched on this area that I want to talk to you guys about now. And these are some of the areas that CIG talked about where that reputation would come from. Food, drink reputation, or preparation and service. Bando, I'm sure you've been on some ships before where you see there's a kitchen. I'm not talking about like, a mess hall or a C2, but I mean, there's like a freaking kitchen, right? There are games that we play now. I'm going to reference some of the games that you could go out and buy your food, but if you make your food, there's some benefits to it, right? If you spend the time making it, there may be buffs, there may be things of that nature. Do you think CIG should do that? In other words, I can either go buy my food and stock my fridge, or like on some ships, you go in there's a full kitchen, right? There's like stuff to make things. How do you feel about that gameplay? Would you do either? Would you do it, or would you just go ahead and keep eating, candy bars out of the, or grabbing a hot dog and just roll?
So me personally, I'm bougie. I'm buying it. I'm not cooking nothing. But
okay.
But I know there's a gameplay for it. My son likes to play this cooking game when he was a kid, and we used to play that as a family, and that was fun. You know, so there's definitely room for it. It's just for me personally, I'm door dashing everything.
That's fair. Yeah. I mean, CIG always talks about giving people options, right? And that's what we would hope that they would do for the person who just needs to run to the store and grab stuff. Like we were out the other day and we were doing a Hathor. And Paradise was like, does somebody have a 1 SCU box? And we were like, what you need it for? And he's like, oh, because I want to put the food in it and stuff to bring on the ship. You know what I mean? There are some people who think like that, right? They'll bring the food, right? Other people are going to bring the guns. Other people are going to bring whatever. But for you, as long as it's prepackaged, you're going to eat the processed foods, right? Is what you're saying, basically, right? You're going to eat the snackables and stuff like that.
I'm going to keep whatever keeps me alive.
Okay. 1 SCU box, you get a chicken wham. You get a chicken wham. You get a chicken wham.
Whatever's in that box you guys got, I am eating it, and we're moving along.
Okay.
I think as long as until they fix this, because I don't think it's sustainable. But call me whatever you want to call me. As long as they sell crews, I would love to use my kitchen in the raft. I would love to use my food processor on the 325. But as long as they sell crews and I just got to crack a bottle and keep moving, I'm not cooking.
Okay.
I'm not cooking. I got to cook IRL. I'm not cooking in the
That's
game.
Fair. That's fair.
And I'm okay with it. Like I'm okay.
Yeah.
Again, like I said with hauling.
Yeah.
Options. Give everybody options.
Give the options. Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe you do get a boost if you cook. Maybe you get something. You know what I mean? Like maybe stuff like maybe your hunger lasts longer if you cook, or whatever. But or you know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like,
well, no, you hit it on the head.
Give us options to do different things.
Mukul's in the chat with us, and we play Scum. Mukul is notorious for, he's the guy, he's always got an MRE. Always, right? He's always got MREs. I never take MREs with me. I cook. Now, the difference is that he finds them and keeps them. Because I cook, I eat, and when I go out for the day, I'm gone all day and don't have to eat again. Where he does have to eat again. But it doesn't bother him, right? For him, because he don't want to cook. Right. That's the role he's taking. So to your point, there are going to be some people who have no problem with going to the store and buying their stuff. And then there's going to be other people who have no store with buying their supplies, and they will spend time in game cooking, just like anything else. Some people, cooking is a boring thing for them. And then there are other people who are like, dude, I can't wait till I can start throwing stuff in that oven and slinging pots and stuff, right, for them. FC, what about you? Where do you fall in this list of things? Cooking, no cooking, or you hiring a chef? What are you thinking about?
I'm the person who knows that there are different levels of crews. They have different prices. I think they have different effects. So yeah, I'm Monarkie for now. Until there's like, I know there's some benefit for food and stuff like that right now, but until it's like maybe 1.0, I don't really care about it. Or maybe if you give me like, if I eat this, I make more money somehow. Some kind of benefit like that. It'll affect me more, but for now, cruise is fine. Also, for the early topic, I want to say like maybe take like 3 or 4 missions, and you can get certified. And that's it. That would be my quick suggestion. 3 or 4 missions, and you're certified.
Gotcha.
Recipes for the food that's in game already. So I want to be able to cook fried C-nut with sauce. Like I need recipes for what's already there, so that there's some interesting interactions with people who are making different dishes, and then that way it also expands the menus. You can get it all like the bars at the space station and stuff. Then you got all sorts of interesting things you can order when you go out.
I have an opening for a chef on my BMM if you want it, Monarkie. So,
hey, I'll take it. I'm a damn good cook. Long as you pay well, I'm a damn good cook.
Look, just make enough for me and I'll buy it.
And you're good? Okay. Well, here, for those of you who are watching, I'm put a link in just now. This was the Star Citizen design notes for civilian passenger transport. And in there, they talk about exactly what we're talking about. Reputation. They talk about the infamous mix master, about when you're making drinks and stuff, and all this other stuff is in here. So take a look at that. They talk about flight attendants, and they talk about medical diagnosis treatments when you're on these ships and stuff. So take a look at that. That's the original design doc for that, and you'll find some very interesting info. Oh, Cap Serious Fun said he just put it in too. That's funny. All right, we were great minds think alike. They're serious, I guess. Okay. The next category I want to hit you guys with: entertainment. Music and dancing. Why is my stuff all out of whack? I didn't set these chat things correctly. What are you guys' thoughts about this? You know, when you go places like in Microtech and you go to Wally's Bar, and it's not just Wally's Bar, but when you go up the sides there, there's areas, there's 2 dance clubs that are in there, and then there's a DJ up in the booth. Are you guys seeing that as just, you know, props in the background? There are groups who've done dance competitions and stuff that have gone in and done stuff in those clubs. How do you think this stuff will play out in the game? Entertainment. Is it practical? Is it real? Is it just for role players? What are you guys' thoughts on that?
I'm gonna let everybody else go first because I got a ton of ton of thoughts about that.
FC?
I'll go real quick. Oh,
okay.
FC.
No, you go ahead.
I've never even seen this place. I didn't know it was here.
Are you serious? Bando, you have seen that. That's Voyager Bar up at Orison.
Really?
Yeah.
Just walk right past it. I don't even notice it. That's how much
the whole
I
glass elevator. You said you bougie. There's no way you can't be up at the
That's
Voyager.
right. That's right.
Maybe I'm just putting my nose up at everything. I don't know. I don't know.
Nah, you gotta go now. It's a glass elevator. You gotta go.
Yeah, now. Oh my God. Okay.
It's live. You gotta go.
I would almost bet money the next time you go and say, "Oh yeah, I remember this place now."
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Maybe it's been a really long time, but I'm like, I don't even remember that at all.
Well, you know, even though
a whole news report from there on the station, you got to go.
Yeah, even though I'm showing this one place, I mean, there are other places, right? There's G-Lock Bar. There's plenty of places that they put into the game. Mm-hmm. Do you feel these places could have some type of beyond role playing? I mean, maybe it's just role playing, but what do you see? Why does CIG have these different places of relaxation, entertainment, or whatever? Any thoughts on it? Or do you do to see it as set decoration?
I desperately want to see these places in active use.
Okay.
I absolutely want to plan with people that I'm going to meet them at the bar at Arc L1. Okay. I certainly like the nightclubs, the restaurants, all this stuff. Like, I want to go to Microtech and see what the DJ's spinning, and I want the playlist to change, and I want it to be an active, breathing. Like, if we're doing everything else with realism. Mm-hmm. Then I want the entertainment to work the same way. Like, I want to be able to go to the bar and hear what the new song is this month, and what is the DJ playing, and we can go there and hang out and have our drinks at the table and just chat with our friends. Like, if I'm in there with my friends, just as much as we want to fly around and do hauling and combat missions and medical gameplay, maybe we all want to get together at Wally's and just chill for a half hour and just sit and chat.
Okay.
And so to me, it's really, I don't look at it as wall dressing. I hope CIG isn't looking at it as wall dressing, because to me, that's the kind of thing that makes a game feel alive. It's one of those small details that you can put together and have entertainment and music. And when you walk through, maybe there's like a news segment playing on one of the monitors as you walk through the space station. Mm-hmm. Like, to me, those types of things breathe life into the game, where, like, yeah, you could walk past it and not pay attention to it. Or while you're waiting for your ship to come back, you go watch the news and come back.
Well, let me ask you a question. Since you just said that about ships, how do you see this migrating down to the transport mission, the transport side of game? Do you see this type of same thing, like somebody saying, I want to rent out a 890 jump or whatever, right? The 600 Eyes got a great entertainment area in its back area where there are pool tables. There's all this stuff. Do you think that those things will become... They just, like the big thing on the Polaris was they slapped the pool table even into that thing. How do you see entertainment?
We got the basketball court on the other ship. Like, I genuinely hope that CIG is looking to make these things playable, actionable, interactive, so that maybe you get on the 890 jump and you throw a party. And, you know, I don't expect them to make it so that people can pipe the music they want into the game or something. Because a lot of times that's a big ask, and especially when you're looking at streams, you're looking at people getting copyright strikes.
Right.
But say you got, you know what? This already exists. Say, you know how when you get in the car in GTA,
yeah,
you got like 10
their music's already choose from. Yeah,
you got like 10 radio stations to choose from.
Right.
So if say you take an 890 jump out for a party, you look into the player and you got
a library of music
to choose from, and it's a bunch of music in there that, you know, is dance music, or they got some classical music if you throw in a high class party, or they got you know what I mean, like they got all kind of stuff that like you can go in and interact with the space. It's not just what you do external to you. It's what happens when you're just sitting by yourself and you're hanging out. Is there a radio station you can listen to? Is there a TV station on board that is being piped out from Lorville or something? You know what I mean? Like, so to me, I would love to see this kind of stuff in every way possible. Anywhere you can put live entertainment, live activity, I want to see it. You know, I don't know if it matters to other people, because I know people are so focused on like the direct gameplay aspects. But for my money, if CIG doesn't have a person looking at this, then hire me right now. because wherever there needs to be content in this game, I will put it there. Like I want that to be a living, breathing experience.
Okay. FC?
I'm sorry, I had to go on a rant, but like I love.
Well, I'm gonna cut your rant because we're 2 minutes before our top of our hour, so I got to go to move fast. FC.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. Go ahead, FC.
So I may be stealing your answer, Griffin.
No, go ahead.
We already discussed it in, a bit in chat, but SWG had its whole dancing buff. So I'm like, maybe if you spend a certain amount of time in specific areas, specific bars, they grant different buffs. Like maybe there's a relaxation buff or something like that. And it makes it like you're less likely to lose a life if you have to regen and after spend enough time in that bar. So yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing something like that in the game.
Okay. No, you're not stealing any thunder from me. I agree with everything you guys are saying. That there's areas here that for other aspects of game, it doesn't have to be just role play, but there could be merits, awards, reputation, all types of things that can be given out to players who decide to engage in these different areas of gameplay. We talked about this earlier about the spaceport, that there are schedules on the wall telling, you know, when certain flights are leaving. Is there a way that CIG could make it so that people, I'm not going to say, is there a way? I know a way they could do it. I'm going to ask you guys. What's the way that people will choose to take commercial flying over flying their own ship? What would be that circumstance to you that a player would say, I'm going to go to the spaceport and catch a flight to so-and-so? Do you guys have any scenarios in your head? Do you think that that would make sense?
I do.
Okay, Bando, let's hear you, then FC.
For instance, I'm at Microtech. I want to go to Nix. Everybody's at Nix already. I've come in late. I'd rather just take a flight over there than me load up, take my ship all the way over there to abandon it anyway. I could just take my luggage, my you know, whatever I need, put it on that, get on the ship, relax. I'll see you guys in 15 minutes.
So the concern for you is, what does CIG have to do to make it so that you don't take your ship? Because right now, taking your ship and leaving, it's no big deal, right? So what's the thing that is the turnoff for you to fly yourself? When I say cost, I don't mean money. What is the cost for you leaving it that you say, screw that, I'll just go to the spaceport and get on a flight and take on out of here and get out of here?
Because most of the time when I'm meeting everybody or my group, they've already got everything. The ship's already there. If I'm already late, I don't need to bring my ship over there. I'm just going to abandon it.
And you're going to get in with them.
So right. I'm going to get in with them. I'm going to crew part of the ship. I'm going to do something.
Okay.
You know, hey, when you get here, you're going to fly. You know, it's okay. But I would rather do that than try to do everything I have to do to get over there. And sometimes we've seen how I've not made it over there. You know,
okay. Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. FC?
I was going to say, I have a couple of potential ones, but maybe like you have an account that only had one big ship, and you lost the big ship, and it would take too long for the big ship to be reclaimed. So you decide to take one of the transport to wherever you need to go, because it'll be quicker to take that transport than then you reclaim that big ship. The other thing is you just don't feel like flying.
Yeah.
or maybe you're a passenger princess or a passenger prince or what have you, and just don't feel like flying. So you take the commercial transport.
Yeah. Maybe we're gonna call him Bougie Bando. That's what we're gonna call. Maybe just Bougie Bando. You don't have to. You don't
I
need
wasn't
to.
trying to name in the name. I wasn't trying to name in the name.
Monarkie, do you see any reason why you would take passenger transport over flying? Is there anything that what would be the deterrent? Is what I'm saying. What would be the thing that you say? Nope, I'm just gonna go to the spaceport, get on this. It'll leave it in 5 minutes. I'm out of here.
The thing that would, I would say, the thing that would get me to do it, because I don't know about a deterrent, but I think the thing that would get me to take it is similar to what Bando said. If people are doing something and I just need to be there, then there's no real reason for me to fly unless I'm absolutely needing my ship for something else, or if I got to pick up cargo or something and take it back with me. If I'm flying a mission and I got to be able to bring something back, I'm gonna throw a couple of SU boxes in my ship and fly over there, so I make sure I can bring it back. But ultimately, if I'm doing stuff a night out, if we, again, if we've got like Starliner and we doing social stuff, the whole night is social. So you can go bar hopping from planet to planet and just chill out with people. Why have 13 different ships?
Yeah.
Everybody's just going to get on that thing and go hang out. And so to me, it's more about the social aspect. That's what would get me to take it.
Yeah. Okay.
Otherwise, everybody can fly. Yeah.
Yeah. I would throw this out. If passenger flight is safer, security wise, that might be another reason to go. Right. If I go fly my own self and I'm on my third life or my fourth life, I'm going to fly someplace that might be kind of dangerous. Maybe it's going to be better to get on that flight, that commercial flight that's going to get me there safely. Not to saying commercial flights couldn't be dangerous, but I'm assuming that commercial flights will be a lot safer with me getting somewhere. Or maybe I'm smuggling something. I want to take something in my backpack over. I don't know. But I'm just curious what would be some things. I don't know. Maybe they will. Maybe people try to smuggle stuff on planes now, right? I'm just saying, I don't know. Maybe
they do. I just wonder what the chances are of people wanting to attack the Starliner.
Or you get in a lot of trouble if you do. That's a lot of trouble if you do, probably.
Right. But that's what I'm saying. Like, what's the incentive or de-incentive for doing that? Like, what?
If you're a pirate and you know someone is on that ship, they have something that you want, or they're loaded or whatnot, you're gonna use them for ransom. You can do it either way for those.
Yeah. So I don't know, like safety. Like I don't know if I'd be curious to see how they would set up like that to be like a safer way to travel. Like I would be interested to see how that gameplay loop comes together.
Yeah.
My question is, do you think they'll allow it to take full heavy armor or weapons on the transport?
Yeah, you may not be able to. Yeah, that might be the other thing. You may have to put on some casual clothes or something when you're on a flight. That would be interesting too.
I'll put everything in a box and you're good.
Yeah, you got to put it in ship it. You got to ship it over with you, right? You got to ship it over. Real quick, domestic social events and meetups and designated NPCs. Last year, Dig That did a fashion show. We were at what's the name of that building? Arcorp Tower. We were up on the roof up there, and about 30 people showed up to do an actual fashion show. He had judges and everything. There were like 4 judges, and people went up on the podium and stood and modeled, and the judges judged them, and we all listened. It was actually really cool. Social events, things that people actually schedule. In some games, we were talking about this fastcart, now we're talking about this back when I was playing Star Wars Galaxies. People used to have weddings, all types of stuff like that. What are your feelings about ships for stuff like that? The touring, things of that nature. Or maybe there's some thing that says you have to go meet a designated NPC at a certain location, or there's a special event. Maybe there's some type of big event, that's some big party on some island on some place. And if you go, there's something that you get out of it. Maybe it's a participatory type of thing. Like, when we do dynamic events, sometimes you get some armor. Maybe you go to this place and you get a new top hat, Monarchy, something like that. What are some things that they could do that you see as dynamic social events that gather people together? Pre-show, before Atmo Esports, pre-party, stuff like that. Any thoughts?
I know if I'm getting some drip, because I got a couple of suits right now. If I lose them, I'm gonna be heated. So like, there are a few things that I've found and purchased in odd places that like I only bring out when I'm like pretty sure I'm not gonna die, because I want to make sure I don't lose them.
Right.
And listen, if I know I'm gonna get some more top hats, like I'm telling you right now, if I know I'm gonna have a cane, if I'm gonna get another monocle, if I'm gonna get anything I'm gonna get that's gonna make me look fresh, I'm in. Like, and mostly because I know I can do social events like that. And like you said, with a fashion show, the whole point is to have fun with the gear. It makes the clothes useful. It means when you go to all of the clothing stores around the verse, you looking for something unique. So that when you do go do something social, you can step out and let people like, ooh, you know what I mean?
Where'd
like,
you get that? Where'd you get that?
Right. Because
Absolutely.
people do that now with your armor, but like when you step in and you got the fresh shirt, you got the jacket, you got the boots, like everything is nice.
Yeah.
That to me is fun. So yeah, I would do tons of like designated, assignable social missions. Just to go and hang out and do some stuff, especially if CIG manages to make the NPCs entertaining and do crazy stuff. Yeah, let me go and then come back with a new jacket or a new suit. Like hell yeah, I would do that every time. Okay,
Bando, how about you? Social events, or you gonna be unsociable, stay to yourself on your little house on the moon somewhere? What are you gonna do?
I don't know, man.
Bando's like, get off my lawn.
Maybe it depends. If there's something like incentive to it, yeah. I mean, I can't be the drip king like Monarkie, but you know, I'm more of a armor fashion instead of fashion. So I'm gonna bring you back some drip. We're gonna get you looking right. Okay, cool. I appreciate you, bro. Yeah, I got you.
But and don't get me wrong, social events don't have to be necessarily the civilian wear. It could still be that stuff. Like I said, we've had missions before where we socially get together and, you know, there's like the what was it, the race for Stanton? Remember they had the Hurston armor and this armor. It was still, those were still social type of things that we did, you know. So it doesn't have to be civilian clothing, I would say.
Right.
FC? Go ahead, man. Go ahead. No.
I was just going to, real quick, just say, I haven't been to many of those events, and I know Jay puts them on, and I would like, as it progresses, like fashion progresses, I would actually like to see that, because that'd be pretty cool. Yeah.
You'd be amazed at what people pay. I don't know if you've ever looked on what people pay for these different outfits in the game. It's millions for some of these outfits. FC?
I just want to say my BMM will be available for wedding, birthday, bar mitzvahs. As long as you pay for the venue ahead of time, I'll provide security, and we all good.
That's fair. I want to run these past you guys. The last couple ideas I'm just throwing out. This is just some stuff that just AI generated stuff, y'all. It's nothing. Just don't anybody think of this as CIG stuff. This is AI generated stuff that I worked on.
I was like, what is that?
Me too.
Yeah. I started just dealing with some general ideas of things for transport, right? And trying to find these ideas of, like, Fastcart mentioned about the 85X, which is a 2-seater, little coupe thing. But I was wondering, what do you guys think about things that are single seats, something like this that is small, that can be used for personal transport? I know we have things like the what do they call the orange things that you're supposed to be able to fly back and forth in? The Argo MPUV.
Oh, the MPUV.
Yeah, you've got like the MPUV. It's got like the cargo one has like 1 seat in it. Then there's the personnel one that has like 6 seats or 8 seats in it. But is there anything that's more practical? Maybe this is more of when I first saw this, I said, wow, this would be cool if it was like the actual ejection off of the 300 series that ejects off the front and it's like your life pod, right? But I also said, no, what if this was some type of just small personal transport? That was one version of it. This was another version of one as well. This is more of, to me, when they were looking for some type of shuttle for something like the 890, something that would carry more than one person, maybe 2 or maybe 4 people are inside, something like that. Do you guys think that they should expand personal transport into like literally personal transport, these type of ships? Or do you think that what we have right now is just more than adequate? There's smaller footprint, right? Not really big ships, but they are just designed to get people from here to there. Any thoughts? Would you like to see something like that? No to...
I would, actually, because honestly, I don't think the Idris should even be going to the surface, honestly. So it should be, you should load up and then fly out in a lighter vehicle to get to that large vehicle. But I think the personnel carrier would be pretty sweet.
Okay.
And then I wasn't a fan of the first one they sold, but this one I like this one. So yeah,
you like this one better?
This one's in sport mode.
Yeah, this one could be in the game. I like this one.
Okay. And then there's a third one I want to show you guys, and this is kind of a different design, amalgamation of different designs and that CIG uses. But this is again AI generated. But this was a variant version of a Starliner that holds. I think I asked it to be able to accommodate 24 suites or something like that, something along those lines. But something a little bit different. Who is, will there be another challenger to ships like the Genesis Starliner, right? I think it is the only, other than the 890, that's a whole nother level. But I'm talking about transport, commercial transport. Do you think that the E1 is a smaller version, Crusaders along that line? Do you guys think that there should be another manufacturer other than Crusader that's producing the Starliner and the E1?
Absolutely. If you go to private jets, there's 4 or 5 different manufacturers. And the big jets, you've got Airbus and Boeing. So yeah, there should be definitely another manufacturer.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree. I pretty much doubt the Genesis will be the only one of that, because the Genesis is Crusader also, as long as the E1. So, that's just one manufacturer. CIG will expand it, whether it be RSI, it probably would be RSI in my opinion, that would do it, unless they come out with another new manufacturer like they did with Grade's Market.
Yeah. This one was actually... Go ahead, Marky. Go ahead.
Oh, it was short, but to kind of expand on what they're saying, I think that also allows for some expanded gameplay in terms of like what they're used for. So like, like you said, if the Idris can't come to the surface, then yeah, you got something to go up there. Or maybe there's a local shuttle that just goes from, A18 up to the space station.
Yeah.
And back.
Yeah.
Or hopefully when we get habitats and I can buy my rooftop condo in area 18 in the city, then you could come out onto your rooftop, get in the shuttle and go to the space station or go to another event somewhere else on the planet. Like, so I think some of these additional options for like transport open up additional avenues of gameplay. Yeah. And then it makes some of these spaces more useful. Like, look, the planets are big enough. I don't expect like Area 18 to have every building on the planet be functional. But ultimately, with all these like hot spots in certain places that are active, now you don't have to go and get in your big ship and fly just over to the next area. You can take a shuttle over there, or you could take a shuttle up to the space station, kind of thing.
I'm glad you said that, because when I first did this one, the thing that I thought of was Orison, how you have, the different platforms everywhere. And the idea was that, to your point, some of the places on Orison, you've got these rooftop decks, and this type of thing would be up there, or even the one that's the more personal one. And you would be able to go from location to location once players were able to, have their own places where they live, and you could move that way instead of having to go all the way to the spaceport, right? Or if there's a tram system, some places don't have a tram system, right? But you mentioned R-Corp as being, we've got the rooftop landing pads on many of the buildings there. And there's Area 16, Area 4, Area 20, to your point, where you could be able to go to. So I would love to see some type of shuttles like this that are personalized for people to transport and move around in. But again, we'll have to see if that's what CIG feels about later on too. Okay. Well, listen, we've got a couple Q&A questions, I've been told. So let's jump into to see what questions these folks got for you guys. Just one? Okay.
Yeah, just
what you
one.
Got?
So this is from Python Space. This is your earlier conversation. They were asking, he was asking, what if we hauled dangerous animals that sometimes break out and you had to capture them and survive? You're talking about the animal transport, or like you're talking about the predator animals. What if you wanted to transport animals and you had to get them from one place to another, but they had to be alive? Would that be interesting?
Well, I mean, well, I'll let these guys talk about it first, and I'll jump in if I have to. Anybody's got any thoughts about transporting livestock or animals?
I think people are doing that now with those Copions.
The
People are,
Copion.
smuggling them in, putting them on the space station. So, I mean,
I thought I heard one of those on the station the other day. I was like, there's no way.
These jokers, yeah. You wouldn't be surprised. They have done it. You're right. People have done that.
So the community's going to create it. So it might as well just go ahead and be in there as well.
I like it. I like it. I think it goes to the point we were making earlier about having all these varied ways to experience danger. It enhances gameplay. It gives you something to have to deal with. That, again, it seems crazy, but if you can figure out a way to deal with it and still get the animals to where they got to be alive, it's a whole nother avenue of gameplay where, like, maybe we get tranquilizer guns or something, so now we got to put them down without killing them. Like, you know what I mean? So, like, I like stuff like that. Like, there's so many different ways it could play out that it gives you a lot more ways to have fun just doing things that, like, randomizes gameplay, it randomizes adventure. I love that kind of stuff.
Yeah. I think, Pops, to your question, I think they've answered it more than adequately. I think that the whole idea of farming, we know CIG has talked about that. And even though there's the aspect of raising, and having these animals there's the market side and trade side of it. And if you have a planet that's in need of food, or just because there's an industry in the game that they build where not only do you raise these cattle or these animals, and then now you have to transport them. CIG has talked about different types of transportation. They've talked about refrigerated, volatile, hazardous materials, regular materials. And then, of course, things like animals and stuff could be easily in those areas. But when you talk about dangerous animals, Pops, there's usually qualifiers for that, and we don't know what those qualifiers will be. Right now, when you go into certain areas, if you fly into Hurston's area, they give you a list of things that are illegal to transport into their area. And if security scans you and you happen to have those items, you get a fine or you get arrested. And I'm sure that they could do that same thing when it comes to dangerous animals. The question is also, why would you haul dangerous animals? Now, if you're a black market person, if you're a black market person who's doing it for some reason, and mind you, it's not like our dangerous animals can be trained. So,
for some reason.
Yeah, I mean, but I'm saying is, if you buy one, what? Then what? Right? It's not like you're going to train the Rancor. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
hey, ain't my problem. I delivered it.
I'm just saying, I want to see what the gameplay, what would be the purpose of transporting dangerous animals. That would be my biggest thing. But again, now maybe there's some place where they tell you, we need you to capture these, what's the thing called on Microtech fastcart? What's the thing that runs around on Microtech?
Boreal Stalker.
Yeah, if there's a problem with Boreal Stalker and they want you to capture them for, the government says we need you to decrease the population. Okay, or maybe for their materials, something like that, right? Because if you get the crab, you get the stuff for armor, then that kind of makes sense. But even then, I'd love to see how that mechanic gets fleshed out. But if it gets loose, then you're going to have to kill it. That's the answer. You ain't going to recapture it. If it's a predator like that, you're going to kill it. Ain't going to be, tranquilizing it, feel free. Have at it. But if it gets loose,
want to watch the world burn.
Hey, if it gets loose, Jack, it's dying. I'm not taking a chance on if it gets loose. I'm sorry.
I got some new boots for the drip.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, that's the only question we got, Fastcart?
Yep.
Okay. Well, listen, I hope you guys enjoyed the conversation that we had today. As you guys know, this is our last weekend in the month. And as you know, we've been celebrating Black History Month. Even though Black History is year round, it's the time that in the United States, there's an emphasis on it. And as you guys know, many of you know that over the past week, one of the most known, recognizable faces in the civil rights movement, Reverend Jesse Jackson, passed away at the age of 84. And so I just want to show a clip. And for those of you who are old like me, you may remember this clip. But for those of you who are not as old as me, this may be something that you never saw before. But I want to say this because I think this encapsulates a lot of things that where we are today. And it goes to show that there are some things that still need to be worked on in our world, not just in the United States, but in the world itself. But I think it's something that most people would be able to say amen to. But I think it shares a little bit about him that maybe a lot of people don't know. And so we're going to show you this little clip, just a few minutes, and then we're going to wrap up the show. So check it out.
Mr. Jackson, you don't understand my situation. You'll be on television. You don't understand. I see you with the big people. You don't understand my situation. I understand. You see me on TV, but you don't know the me that makes me me. They wonder why does Jesse run? Because they see me running for the White House. They don't see the house I'm running from. I have a story. I wasn't always on television. Writers were not always outside my door. When I was born late one afternoon, October 8th, in Greenville, South Carolina, no writers asked my mother her name. Nobody chose to write down our address. A mama was not supposed to make it, and I was not supposed to make it. You see, I was born to a teenage mother who was born to a teenage mother. I understand. I know abandonment and people being mean to you and saying you're nothing and nobody and can never be anything. I understand. Jesse Jackson is my third name. I'm adopted. When I had no name, my grandmother gave me her name. My name was Jesse Burns till I was 12. So I wouldn't have a blank space. She gave me a name to hold me over. I understand when nobody knows your name. I understand when you have no name. I understand. I wasn't born in the hospital. Mama didn't have insurance. I was born in the bed at house. I really do understand. Born in a 3-room house. Bathroom in the backyard. Slop job by the bed. No hot and cold running water. I understand. Wallpaper used for decoration? No. For a windbreaker. I understand. I'm a working person's person. That's why I understand you, whether you're black or white. I understand work. I was not born with a silver spoon in my mouth. I had a shovel programmed for my hand. My mother, a working woman. Some of the days she went to work early, with runs in her stockings. She knew better, but she rolled runs in her stockings so that my brother and I could have matching socks and not be laughed at school. I understand. At 3 o'clock on Thanksgiving Day, we couldn't eat turkey because Mama was preparing somebody else's turkey at 3 o'clock. We had to play football to entertain ourselves. And then around 6 o'clock, she would get off the Alta Vista bus and we would bring up the leftovers and eat our turkey, leftovers, the caucus, the cranberries, around 8 o'clock at night. I really do understand. Every one of these funny labels they put on you, those of you who are watching this broadcast tonight in the projects, on the corners, I understand. Call you outcast, low down, you can't make it, you're nothing, you're from nobody, subclass, underclass. When you see Jesse Jackson, when my name goes in nomination, your name goes in nomination. I was born in the slum, but the slum was not born in me. And it wasn't born in you, and you can make it. Wherever you are tonight, you can make it. Hold your head high. Stick your chest out. You can make it. It gets dark sometimes, but the morning comes. Don't you surrender. Suffering breeds character. Character breeds faith. In the end, faith will not disappoint. You must not surrender. You may or may not get there, but just know that you're qualified and you hold on and hold out. We must never surrender. America will get better and better. Keep hope alive. Keep hope alive. Keep hope alive. On tomorrow night and beyond. Keep hope alive. I love you very much. I love you very much.
Okay. So that was it. Again, one of the last, from the civil rights movement. Not too many folks still around from that period of time. But Reverend Jesse Jackson, again, 84 years old, has passed away. And these guys know, some of these guys know I've worked Operation Push or Rainbow Push Coalition. I still do. I've been out there this week and been to the services, and it's been both celebration and sadness, but somebody who really believed in people and being there for people. So I want to say that. And I think that's about it. Next week, we will be celebrating our 6th year anniversary next Sunday, March the 1st. It has been 6 years, fastcart, and you look the same, just older.
No, I don't. Okay. I don't tell that lie.
He waited to get you with it.
Yeah. Next week, we will be celebrating our 6th year anniversary. And as you guys know, we usually invite many of our team members to be on board with us, where we're just going to be kind of hanging out, talking about what's happened next week in Star Citizen, and then also talking about the past 6 years and what we're looking forward to for the year 2026 or 2956, if you want to say it that way. So hopefully you guys will be able to join us on next Sunday, 7 o'clock for Star Citizen this week. And of course, 8 p.m. Eastern for our 6th year anniversary show. I think that is about it. FC, I know you probably gave me somebody for us to raid. Yes, did we?
Yep.
I've never seen this person before. That's different.
Yeah,
Fastcart has
Dual
yeah.
team.
He's what?
Dual team. There are 2 people in one stream.
Oh, there's 2. Oh, dual streaming. Okay, I got you now.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, cool. All right, well, we're going to be setting up a raid for Nomad TV. I want to give a special thank you to both Bado and Bado Calrissian and Monarkie, both for being here today. Newest members of the team, y'all give them some shout outs. They did a great job today. They probably signed a sigh of relief of like, oh my God, we're done. But hopefully they'll be able to join us next week for our, they'll be their first anniversary show if they're able to be on. So hopefully they'll be able to join us next week as well. FC, thank you again, as always. Oh, I want to give a shout out earlier. Black Intellect, I did see that you did do something over on the YouTube channel for us. Thank you. We appreciate you as always. And everybody who subscribed, everybody who followed tonight. Again, if we missed you, we're sorry for missing you, but thank you for once again supporting the Soul Citizens. And we're going to go ahead and set you guys up with the raid. So FC, Bado, Monarkie, thank you guys again. And as always, we tell you guys, stay safe, take care of yourselves, and hopefully we'll see you next week. Peace, love, and soul. Take care. Ciao.